He who is not respected is disposable. In a world where everyone screams to be heard, true respect belongs to the one who masters his silence. And that is the first principle of power. Being respected is not a right, it's an art that few master because most want attention, not authority. They want to be heard, but don't know how to make themselves felt. I'm ready. Respect is not asked for, it is imposed. And when you understand this, your way of being in the world changes forever. Machiavelli knew it. Power is not demonstrated by shouting, it is perceived in the calmness of those who don't need to explain themselves. The current world is full of noise, of people talking without saying anything, of empty minds seeking validation, of voices demanding respect but not projecting presence. Thank you. True respect is not conquered with speeches, but with energy, with coherence, with a gaze that doesn't tremble, with a calmness that is not negotiated. Breathe, observe, decide. Because when you enter a place with internal mastery, the environment changes, not because of what you say, but because of what you radiate. Those who master their center, master their environment. I'm ready. Many believe that respect is obtained by being kind, speaking with charisma, or showing knowledge. But real respect is born from something deeper, from your capacity not to beg for it. Because when you ask for respect, you're already beneath. And when you try to prove it, you've already lost it. Respect is imposed through energy, not through explanation. Thank you. Machiavelli taught it. The prince doesn't need to say he is king. His mere presence reminds everyone. And so you must act. Don't ask for attention. Be attention. Don't seek recognition. Project it. Don't explain your value. Make it felt. Breathe. Observe. Decide. Your power begins when you realize that silence is your best ally. Strategy 1. Strategic silence. Silence is not absence, it is mastery. Silence is not emptiness, it is multiplied presence. When you stay silent with intention, the other is forced to listen to themselves, and there they lose control. I'm ready. Speaking less doesn't make you weak. It makes you unpredictable. And the unpredictable commands respect. The wise don't respond to every provocation. The wise choose, calculate, observe. Machiavelli knew it. He who speaks too much becomes transparent, and he who is transparent is already defeated. Thank you. Every unnecessary word is one less brick in your wall. Every well-chosen silence is an invisible sword that cuts without noise. Breathe, observe, decide. Not everyone deserves an answer. Not everyone deserves your voice. Sometimes the greatest cry of power is absolute silence, because silence makes uncomfortable. Silence reveals, silence protects. I'm ready. When you learn to be silent, you learn to govern. Because he who doesn't react controls the rhythm of the game. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. Thank you. He who masters his silence already masters his energy, and he who masters his energy already masters his environment. Breathe, observe, decide. Respect begins when you learn to speak less and look more, when you learn to use pauses as weapons, when you let silence do the work that words could never do. I'm ready. Silence is pause, pause is presence, and presence is power. Thank you. Strategy 2. Calmness as shield. The world belongs to those who know how to wait, to those who don't rush, to those who can look at chaos without becoming part of it. I'm ready. Calmness is not submission. It is power without the need for noise. It is the clearest sign that you're no longer at the mercy of your environment. Thank you. Machiavelli knew it. The prince must not be dominated by his passions, but use them when it suits him. That is emotional mastery. That is true respect. When someone tries to provoke you and you choose not to react, you're not yielding, you're governing. Because he who gets upset exposes himself, And he who remains serene becomes an uncomfortable mirror for the weak. Breathe, observe, decide. Your calmness is an invisible shield. Your serenity disarms more than 1,000 screams. Your silence weighs more than any argument. I'm ready. Not everyone will understand your calmness. Some will call it coldness. Others will call it arrogance. But what they're really saying is, I can't control you, and that is respect. Thank you. Respect is not imposed with force, but with self-control. Because he who doesn't control himself becomes a toy of his environment. Machiavelli said it bluntly. He who doesn't master his impulses will be mastered by others. And you're no longer here to be mastered. Breathe, observe, decide. Every time someone tries to steal your calmness, they're showing you their weakness. Every time the world screams and you choose silence, you're separating yourself from the masses. Because the masses react, the strategist chooses, I'm ready. Don't confuse your calmness with passivity. Your calmness is precision. It is the pause before the certain movement. It is the air that is inhaled before the perfect strike. Thank you. Calmness doesn't seek attention. Calmness creates attention. Because in a world of impulsives, he who remains in silence stands out without effort. Breathe, observe, decide. Your calmness commands, your calmness protects. Your calmness educates others about how they should treat you. I'm ready. Calmness is not learned in books. It is trained in battle. Every time you restrained yourself, you became stronger. Every time you chose not to respond, you gained invisible ground. Machiavelli would understand it this way. The prince doesn't act out of emotion, but out of advantage. Thank you. And your advantage today is serenity. Because while others wear themselves out in reaction, you observe with clarity. And that clarity is pure power. Breathe, observe, decide. Respect is born when people perceive that nothing can break your center. That there's no word that can throw you off balance, nor gaze that can intimidate you. That is not explained. It is felt. It is projected. I'm ready. Your calmness is your silent authority. Your calmness is your signature. Your calmness is the message that says, without uttering a word, I'm in control. Thank you. Strategy 3. Perception and disguise. Power is not always shown. Sometimes it is hidden. Sometimes it disguises itself as calmness. Sometimes it stays silent until the moment arrives. I'm ready. Machiavelli taught it without hesitation. He who shows all his cards has already lost half the game. The art of observing without exposing yourself is one of the highest forms of intelligence, because he who says everything becomes predictable, and he who is predictable is already defeated. Thank you. The wise observe, analyze. And while everyone talks, he understands. Because real power doesn't seek to be seen, it seeks to be felt. Breathe, observe, decide. Disguise is not falsehood. It is strategy. It is the art of controlling the information you give to the world. Show little, speak less, think more. That is the strategist's formula. I'm ready. When you observe without being seen, you see what others cannot. When you listen without speaking, you discover what others hide. And when you stay silent with intention, your presence becomes a mystery, and mystery commands respect. Thank you. Machiavelli knew it. The prince must be a fox to recognize the trap, and a lion to impose himself when the moment comes. Observation is your fox part, emotional mastery your lion part, and both unite in the mind of he who knows how to wait. Breathe, observe, decide. He who rushes to speak loses power. He who rushes to show loses control. He who rushes to trust loses advantage. Disguise is patience-made strategy. I'm ready. Not everything you think must be said. Not everything you feel must be shown. Not everything you know must be revealed. Your selective silence is the border between respect and manipulation. Thank you. The intelligent observer doesn't interrupt chaos. He studies it, because every word from the other reveals their weakness. Every gesture, their insecurity. Every reaction, their hidden intention. And while they expose themselves, you strengthen yourself. Breathe, observe, decide. Observation gives you power because it gives you time. And time in the hands of a strategist is the most lethal weapon. I'm ready. When the other believes you understand them, without you having said anything, you already control them. When everyone shows themselves and you choose silence, you become the invisible center of the game. Thank you. Machiavelli said, "The prudent prince conceals his intentions and moves as if he has no plan, when in reality everything is already decided." That is the essence of emotional disguise, not lying but dosing the truth. Breathe, observe, decide. Because showing everything you feel is opening the doors of your fortress, and he who opens his doors to anyone invites the enemy to his table. I'm ready. Your power is in the shadow, in what you keep silent, in what you don't reveal, in what only you know. Thank you. Disguise is not weakness, it is self-protection. It is the art of walking in the storm without anyone noticing you're soaked. Breathe, observe, decide. He who masters perception masters the game. He who masters disguise becomes indecipherable, and the indecipherable always commands respect. I'm ready. Your silence is not emptiness, it is strategy. Your calmness is not distance, it is mastery. Your gaze is not indifference, it is reading. Thank you. Because when you learn to observe without exposing yourself, you no longer need to impose yourself. Respect comes on its own. Breathe, observe, decide. I'm ready. Strategy 4. Selective distance. Not everyone deserves your closeness. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves your access. I'm ready. Machiavelli knew it. The prince must seem accessible, but his mind must remain inaccessible. Respect is not generated by being available to everyone, but by being scarce. Because the scarce has value, the easy wears out. Thank you. Your distance is a silent declaration of power. It doesn't reject. It selects. It doesn't flee. It protects. Breathe, observe, decide. In a world where everyone exposes themselves, he who reserves himself becomes magnetic. Mystery attracts, distance commands, and he who manages to balance both already governs. I'm ready. Selective distance is not pride, it is emotional strategy. It is the invisible filter that separates the valuable from the banal. Machiavelli understood it this way. The prudent prince doesn't let himself be seen always, because continuous presence reduces respect. Thank you. If you're always available, your value dilutes. If you're always visible, your presence becomes scenery, and nobody respects what is always within reach. Breathe, observe, decide. People don't respect your time if you don't protect it. They won't value your energy if you don't establish a limit. They won't care for your calmness if you yourself give it away to anyone. I'm ready. Every no you pronounce with serenity is an invisible wall that elevates your throne. Every chosen distance is an act of respect toward yourself. Thank you. Respect begins when you understand that it is not your duty to please everyone. Your duty is to keep your center intact, because he who seeks to please loses his power. And he who knows how to withdraw on time preserves it. Breathe, observe, decide. Machiavelli explained it with precision. He who seeks to be loved by all ends up being despised by all. Therefore, maintain your distance without explanations. Don't justify your silence. Don't defend your absence. He who deserves your presence will know how to wait. I'm ready. Distance is not coldness. It is self-governance. It is the capacity not to deliver your energy to those who don't know what to do with it. Thank you. Don't confuse empathy with exposure. Don't confuse closeness with access. Don't confuse kindness with availability. The wise give without emptying themselves. The strong help without losing themselves. The strategist observes without giving themselves away. Breathe, observe, decide. Respect flourishes in the terrain of scarcity, because the limited inspires value, and the reserved always intrigues. I'm ready. Your distance teaches others where their power ends and where yours begins. Your distance orders, your distance protects, your distance selects. Thank you. Machiavelli would summarize it this way: the prince who shows himself little maintains desire. He who shows himself too much invites contempt. Breathe, observe, decide. The world pushes you to share everything. You choose the opposite. You keep, filter, choose. Because you already understood that what is exposed too much loses its strength. I'm ready. Distance doesn't move you away from respect. It elevates you toward it. And when you learn to maintain it, your mere presence becomes sufficient. Thank you. Strategy 5. Invisible authority. The most feared power is the one not announced. The deepest respect is the one not asked for. I'm ready. True authority doesn't shout, doesn't threaten, doesn't seek to be approved. It simply is. It is felt. And it imposes itself without effort. Thank you. Machiavelli said it with clarity. The prudent prince must make himself feared, but without becoming hated. That is the essence of silent respect, not imposing fear, but presence. Breathe, observe, decide. Your authority is not in your words, it is in your control, in your coherence, in your capacity to maintain calmness when others lose theirs. Because he who masters his emotions masters the environment. And he who masters the environment already has the power. I'm ready. Your voice can be soft but firm. Your gaze can be calm but penetrating. Your posture can be serene but unshakable. That is the strength of he who doesn't need to impose himself. Thank you. The weak leader seeks to be loved. The wise leader seeks to be respected. And respect is not negotiated. It is built with limits, with presence, with consequence. Breathe, observe, decide. Machiavelli understood it perfectly. Love is earned with favors, but respect is earned with strength. Your strength is not in the volume of your voice, but in the precision of your gestures. Your power is not in how many follow you, but in how many take you seriously. I'm ready. Invisible authority doesn't need applause, doesn't need explanations, doesn't need approval. The wise don't proclaim themselves master. They only teach with their example. Thank you. Your way of entering a place already speaks for you. Your way of being silent already says what's necessary. Your way of observing already orders the environment. That is power. Breathe, observe, decide. He who imposes himself with noise wears out his power. He who imposes himself with silence multiplies it, because silence has a weight that words never reach. I'm ready. Invisible authority is the art of making others act without you having to ask. It is the mastery born from respect, not from fear. Thank you. Machiavelli said it. Men obey more those who inspire respect than those who beg for loyalty. And you no longer beg, no longer plead, no longer explain. You impose with calmness, with presence, with silence. Breathe, observe, decide. Your mere composure is a message. Your silence is an order. Your gaze, a decision. You don't need to say, "Listen to me," because silence already demands it. I'm ready. Invisible authority doesn't seek attention. It attracts it, because in the stillness of mastery, there's something everyone recognizes. Real power. Thank you. Your presence must speak for you. Your calmness must intimidate. Your silence must direct. This is how respect is built in any environment, without shouting, without humiliating yourself, without begging. Breathe, observe, decide. The wise don't enter every discussion, don't defend themselves from every criticism. Don't respond to every attack because they know their authority is not protected with words, but with conduct. I'm ready. Your best argument is your control. Your best defense is your silence. Your greatest power is your serenity. Thank you. He who masters silence already masters the environment. He who imposes without noise already governs the souls of others. Breathe, observe, decide. The power that is explained weakens. The power that is sustained grows. I'm ready. Your authority is not in demonstrating. It is in holding yourself firm when everything moves. That stability is the root of respect. Thank you. Strategy 6. The language of silence. There are words that convince, but there are silences that transform. I'm ready. Silence is an ancient language, the language of the wise, the refuge of strategists. Machiavelli knew it. The prince must learn to keep silent what is not convenient to say, and speak only when silence has done its work. Thank you. Silence is not emptiness, it is power at rest. It is the pause between intention and action, the space where clarity is born. Breathe, observe, decide. When you choose to be silent, you listen to yourself. When you choose not to react, you understand yourself. When you choose not to respond, you strengthen yourself. Silence is also an answer. I'm ready. Noise belongs to the weak. Noise belongs to those seeking approval. Noise belongs to those who fear not being heard. The wise don't fear silence. They inhabit it, master it, use it as an invisible sword. Thank you. Every time you choose to be silent, you accumulate energy. Every time you choose to listen, you gather information. Every time you choose to observe, you gain advantage. Silence is strategy. Breathe, observe, decide. In moments of tension, silence reveals who has control. He who stays silent governs the rhythm. He who speaks without thinking surrenders power. I'm ready. Machiavelli warned, "He who doesn't control his words loses his power faster than his fortune. Therefore, every silence of yours is a message, every pause of yours, an order, every look, an instruction. Thank you. Silence creates respect because not everyone can bear it. The weak rush to fill it, the strong let it weigh. The uncomfortable silence of the wise is the mirror where the other reveals themselves. Breathe, observe, decide. Don't confuse silence with submission. Silence is not surrender. Silence is control. When you don't respond to the attack, the enemy wears themselves out alone. When you don't justify your limits, others learn to respect them. When you don't explain your decisions, your authority grows. I'm ready. Your silence doesn't mean you have nothing to say. It means not everyone deserves to hear it. Thank you. The strategist's silence is not absence of voice. It is selection of moment, speaking when convenient, being silent when wise. Observing when everyone reacts. Breathe, observe, decide. The wise don't seek to have the last word. They seek to have the last action, because the word convinces, but silence dominates. I'm ready. Silence has rhythm, has weight, has power. When you use it with intention, you turn every pause into a declaration. When you stay silent with purpose, the world listens more. Thank you. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. The silence of power disturbs more than its noise. And you are already learning to disturb, to control the environment without moving, to govern tension without speaking. Breathe, observe, decide. Silence is not a shield, it is a sword, invisible, implacable, unbreakable. I'm ready. He who masters silence no longer needs to shout to be heard, no longer needs to defend himself to be respected, no longer needs to explain to be understood. Thank you. Silence is the tool of the wise, the refuge of the strong. and the throne of those who master themselves. Breathe, observe, decide. Power is not in saying more. It is in saying just what's necessary, and many times what's necessary is nothing. I'm ready. Your silence is your fortress. Your calmness is your language. Your serenity is your message. And in that invisible language, the weak tremble, the wise understand, and the strong respect you. Thank you. Strategy. 7. The presence that commands. Your presence is power, even when you say nothing, even when you do nothing, even when you only look. I'm ready. Machiavelli knew it. The prince doesn't need to be loved. It's enough that no one dares to disrespect him. That is presence. That is mastery. That is silent authority. Thank you. Your presence communicates before your words. Your calmness reveals more than your gestures. Your posture speaks for you. The wise don't need to introduce themselves. The wise are felt. Breathe, observe, decide. Respect is not asked for, it is projected. It is imposed from the way you hold yourself, from the way you speak little, from the serenity with which you observe chaos. I'm ready. Your calm gaze is power. Your controlled tone is authority. Your silence, a message no one can ignore. Thank you. The presence that commands is born from inner mastery, from those who learn to fall without breaking, from those who chose to be silent instead of shouting, from those who understood they don't need to prove anything. True power doesn't seek attention, it attracts it. Breathe, observe, decide. He who masters his presence no longer needs to defend his position, because respect is felt like an invisible weight that fills the air. I'm ready. You don't need to speak louder, you only need to speak with calmness. You don't need to occupy all the space, only hold yours with firmness. Thank you. Your energy teaches others how to treat you. If you're at peace, you project strength. If you react, you project weakness. If you observe, you project control, and the world responds to that. Breathe, observe, decide. Machiavelli understood it. The wise prince inspires respect without showing his sword, because his mere presence makes no one dare to test its edge. You are that prince. Your calmness is your invisible sword. Your silence is your armor. Your gaze, your decree. I'm ready. When you enter a place, don't speak first. Look. Listen. Measure the air. Let your presence speak before your voice. Let your energy command before your words. Thank you. Respect is born from the balance between distance and warmth, between firmness and empathy, between silence and certainty. The wise master that balance. The wise don't react. The wise observe and decide. Breathe, observe, decide. Your power is not shouting, "Look at me." Your power is that everyone looks at you without you saying a word. I'm ready. True respect is not earned with force. It is earned with coherence, with constancy, with discipline. Machiavelli said it. The prince must not seem fickle. He must be rock in the midst of change. And you are already that rock. Thank you. Your presence teaches without speaking, orders without shouting, commands without hurting. That is the mark of those who govern the souls of others from inner mastery. Breathe, observe, decide. Many seek attention, few inspire respect, many talk about power. You hold it in silence. I'm ready. Don't rush to fill the voids. Allow others to feel them, because uncomfortable silence is the reminder that you set the rhythm. Thank you. Your mere presence is a conversation. Your energy says, I don't run, I don't compete, I don't explain, I just exist with power. Breathe, observe, decide. Power is not demonstrated, it is sustained. Respect is not asked for, it is imposed. Authority is not acted, it is embodied. I'm ready. And when someone tries to challenge you, don't respond. Just look at them calmly, because he who doesn't need to react has already won. Thank you. Your presence is not for everyone. Your energy is not free. Your silence is not weakness. It is mastery. It is strategy. It is inner royalty. Breathe, observe, decide. Your power is felt in what you choose not to say, in what you choose not to show, in what you choose not to yield. I'm ready. Machiavelli said it and you embody it. Respect is not granted to the loudest, but to the firmest. Your firmness is your throne. Your calmness is your crown. Your silence, your kingdom. Thank you. When everyone speaks, you observe. When everyone reacts, you calculate. When everyone seeks attention, you master the environment with your calmness. Breathe, observe, decide. Don't forget this principle. Power is not in volume, but in direction. Not in the strength of the blow, but in the control of the hand that contains it. I'm ready. Your presence is message, your calmness is law, your silence is power. Thank you. You don't need to compete. You don't need to justify yourself. You don't need to beg. You only need to be on your axis, in your mastery, in your truth. And when the world feels it, it will align with you. Breathe, observe, decide. I'm ready. Power is not shouted. Power is sustained. And you have already learned to sustain it. Thank you. Your calmness governs, your silence protects, your presence commands. Respect is not asked for, it is felt. I'm ready.